There's a polarized field. There's compassion out there. We're going to talk about compassion today. There's a polarized field that you're operating in because there's no suck. But since you have let go of everything that you grabbed onto as a truth and put your dependencies in, although you were in such excruciating pain with not living your truth, you chose to dumb yourself down into some spineless fucking bitch. And then all of a sudden you join our classes and you start to grow a set of balls. Okay? Feminine balls, if you will. I don't give a shit what you want to call it. You start being a god, and you start standing up for yourself because it feels natural. It feels good. I'm going to mute you, Gene. Thank you, darling. It feels natural to be a god. And now that you're devastated because you're naked, you have a reaction. Wonderful. Have your reaction. Bullshit yourself like you said to, let's say, I'm not Roxy anymore, you said to Roxy a few minutes ago, I have no money and nowhere to live. Yet you're living in a fucking house right now, but it's not your home because you don't own it. And as Roxy said yesterday, you don't own your goddamn shit in your universe. You just use it. You get it? So you provided you with a house, but you got to bitch at yourself because you're a baby. You're a big, scared baby, big pussy about life because you put a shield around yourself, a big shield called a boyfriend, a life, a mother, a kid, a job, and you decorated your reality with image. But then see, there's a God inside. Roxy's met Roxy, but Roxy ain't Roxy. Roxy a hell of a lot more than Roxy. And that's what you're finding. You're a hell of a lot more than Daphne. Daphne's been an image running around trying to get through life and then having a reaction to life if it's a polarized field. You have compassion for Rebecca because the hubby got turned away. Well, guess what? That's an experience. She's falling out of the plane. You can't fly? Is that what you think? That means the end of your life? But you already said you got a job. You said you have no money, but I know you have a dime somewhere, whatever your fucking country's money is. I know that you can go and get money, but you don't have money, right? You don't have money, so you put out the vibration of lack because you're reacting. And that's what you got to get your balls up to and see and swallow and become that vibration with the gallant, fucking awesome God you are instead of the spineless bullshitter you are. And accept your reality that you've chosen. Because you're having an experience right now, Daphne, and you ain't in pain. See, your ego's in pain. Your ego is suffering. Your image is suffering. It's having a bad time because you made a decision to let it all go. And you're scared. Yes, perfect. Welcome to ascending. Welcome to becoming a master. Welcome to understanding yourself as a God. Because you threw away everything that you found valuable. You threw away your boyfriend, you threw away the job you fucking hated, and you just walked out. And now you're empty and naked and you're having a fucking reaction. Good. Good. I'm glad you're having a reaction. So you can see the belief systems that kept you imprisoned. This planet is a whole bunch of fucking pussies walking around using law and guilt, obligation, and a fucking homage to a dead fucking angry God to manipulate each other through a life of dead. Fucking dead. And you gave yourself an opportunity to become alive. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to fuck it up and run back and become what? A burning bed? Farrah Fawcett? Go back to the abuse? Because you don't know how to be a God? Save that for the spineless. You know how men become powerful? Guns, physical strength. They don't have intelligence to become powerful because they leave out their feminine side that makes the whole God. You got to use both of you. So you got to have some guts. That's a little male in you right now. Logically, let's say logically, you've been thinking of the decisions. But intelligently, you made the decisions. But now you have to stay courage. So use your male aspect in you, would you? Would you go ahead and let go of the sorrow and suffering for the compassion? That compassion for yourself, that you might have made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. And only you, maybe your mother, maybe your boyfriend, okay? Lost gods. Fuck them! Lost gods that have nothing to do with your decisions, your truth. So Daphne, you are a very shiny, shiny, bright light right now, more than you can imagine. But see, your desperate eyes are seeking for validation of concurrent, the concurrent of my truth. Did I make the right decision? Am I looking for value in objects that said, yes, you did it? Well, that's where it becomes the trust of the self. That's where you turn into a god and bring back nothing from the outside that gives you permission. And everything is now you choosing your reality, creating it literally. See how that bullshit about, ooh, I created a job, I created money, I created a boyfriend that loves me. See, not that manifestation fucking diarrhea of you lost gods. Creating reality is a relationship to truth. Truth creates real. My real becomes reality. That's how it works. Grisa's on the way home because there's a truth inside of him that he's discovering about himself, and he'll choose differently. He'll choose to stand up and be his own sovereign being, and he'll understand how to create his reality through feeling instead of through monetary outcomes, monetary needs, monetary dependencies. And those ideas, see, he's going to find love. See, not your compassion love, because that love is just diarrhea. It stinks to high heaven. It fills humanity with their fucking anger, with their fucking sorrow, and their self-pity. That's what compassion does. And see, don't have compassion for the God choosing himself, because for God's sakes, that's how you go home. You go home by being God. And you've chosen this intelligence. You've chosen, pardon us for muting you, Joyce. You've chosen something different, Daphne. And now time will comfort you. This ally now that you've used so much as a dependency of separation, avoidance, relying on fear to make the right decisions through the logical mind of a male attribute that lies inside of you. You've used this now in a way of ally, because time is going to tell you a story. It's going to tell you a story how you don't need hope or compassion. It's going to tell you a story that you don't need money or to own a fucking house. It's going to tell you a truth that you only live now. And now speaks no time. But time is going to tell you that, because time is generous. Time is truth. So relax, okay? You got this shit. Because right now, not dick's happening. Oh, but your mind's kicking your ass, isn't it? It's fucking kicking your ass 3 ways from Wednesday. Are you cutting your hair, Nanette? Thumbs up. There's a badass God cutting her hair in a fucking mirror. She's like, fucking A. All right, guys, listen. The truth about compassion. Let's talk about that first. Compassion, we said at one time, is compressed passion. But look at the vibration behind passion. Passion doesn't have boundaries. Passion doesn't hold back. Passion is the one that gets to the wedding and stops it because it's in love. And says, I object to this wedding because I love him or her. See how that works? Or them. You guys are new nowadays. See, that's what passion is. See, compassion is a guy that doesn't want to hurt the one he loves. He respects her decision. So he compresses his passion to the idea of sympathy and pity. She's making a mistake, gotta let her learn life. See, that's shit to do that to yourself. Because now, instead of having a life of glory, this young little lad falling in love unconditionally with his woman that he just absolutely loves. He misses out on an entire life with her. Oh, he gets his great life of unknown, sure. But he's having a miserable fucking time because he validates polarity. And see, if you followed his love, polarity leaves the moment. It has to. He follows his state of being, his passion. Then he realizes his vibration, his relationship, his truth to himself. He may get mixed up down the road and little this, little that, but that's not the concern. But what got him to the reality of his passion is passion. And that's what you chose. That's what people do. That's how lives change. That's how worlds collapse and new ones are birthed. Because someone is passionate in the moment to change their own reality. And that vibration offers a light, like you have done, Daphne, offers a light of attraction that people cannot deny, and they're going to fucking find you. Because they don't want to know your details. They don't want to know what you can do for them, because you're not stymieing the idea of fucking lack and being a commodity on a fucking wheel. You're not playing the victim, so you can fulfill someone else's reality and hope and dreams. See, know your passion. See, you're going to bring the light out of people because they need to know that. All of you who choose your truth, create that reality. You don't fucking create followers. You create leaders. Roxy doesn't have you do stuff for her. You do it for you. And you chose. Because the class represents that. That's why she wanted you to offer that to the class. Because you have chosen a God self. One that doesn't hold homage to compassion. Look at the earth. Look at the goddamn sob stories. They fuck it up on America's Got Talent. They always put that little drama. 3 years ago, my mom died of cancer. Well, fuck, man. She jumped out of an airplane. Let her have it. But no, they got to use those to take that vibration of lack and pull it out of the hearts of the fucking audience. And the audience is validated. And they choose that truth and they become the lack, and humanity goes on in their fucking darkness. Because no one has the balls to say, don't publish my mom. She's lived. Leave her alone. Because they want that fucking diarrhea. They want that drama so they can seize off of the fucking commodity that humans do for them. Because they need to earn money so they can sell fucking commercial time. Yeah. Cogs in the wheel. Going down the conveyor belt of life, getting to the end, getting grinded up and used as a nice fucking fertilizer to cultivate the next generation of lack. Well, the only way you get out of that is start being a god. Start being a god that doesn't fuck around with details. Compassion confuses the mind. It wants you to do things that are right outside of you. when your heart tells you that's not the truth. But you guys aren't used to your heart, but you got to take chances on yourself to know yourself. Sonia joined the class today. Sonia's from the UK. She's a big, ballsy bitch. We like her. She's got a lot of male in her. She's got a lot of balls in her. But she's got a lot of ego that needs to be destroyed, like Tamsin down there in the Cape. To break through this image to find the God that can't be measured by an image that you guys don every morning so you can get through life in order to be some kind of mediocrity of success, failure, and then play kudos around the goddamn fire with glory days. That's not what you are, my friends. You're gods. Gods don't validate good and bad and indifferent. Gods are the Mecca of the now that create realities. And those Meccas, those now dynasties are truth. And I would like you guys to understand something. Really think about truths, because they create worlds. They manifest light into physical reality. They create your skin, your hair. They create the bed you sit on, the eyes you see from, the nose you smell, and the scents that are around you to give you the ability to smell a home-cooked meal. Don't be disdainful for your own attributes, but don't use them as a source of creating realities. Realities are created on truth, and the way home is feeling. Greetings, Bill. We were just sharing with Daphne. Daphne went ahead and left her boyfriend, moved in with her mom, packed up her shit. Big balls. But she's scared. She's having reactions. I know this is equating to you, so it would behoove you if you choose to go back and watch the first part of this. It's about 10 minutes. That's all you've missed, okay? Because we know you're going through those ideas too. You have a guy that's using you as a fucking pincushion. I don't think you're a pincushion. See, he has his own lack. See, what compassion does is it feels firstly, listen very closely, my friends, it feels firstly for the sorrow and the pity for the self. It does not use it externally, it uses it internally, because that's where the first criticism comes from. The first criticism comes from the outside to you. So you have to accept a criticism in order to understand it. You cannot understand a criticism, a judgment, until it is bestowed upon ye. And ye must understand thou, and thou own truth of accepting criticism causes compassion to be birthed. Because now you understand that you are wrong. And you've accepted it, and you felt that emptiness, and you felt that, God damn it, I fucked up. Even as a young child, without those glorious words of fucking, I love that word, fuck, motherfuck, fuck. Even without that, you understand the depth of disappointment and failure you have given the one who has been feeding you a steady diet of consciousness, covet, and love. And you've disappointed that consciousness that is reflecting your awareness. That's how deep it runs. And you guys are saying, oh, it's just my mom. It's just my dad. They're the source. There's the generations in whatever fashion your mom and dad, doesn't have to be your biological, be your fucking teacher. I don't give a shit wherever you sign the meaning. You understand the drift. So you got to see that self-pity is the initial idea that takes you and snaps you is worthless. your bone marrow leaks out all over into your bloodstream, and you have no legs, you have no worth, you have no spine, you have no moxie, you're not alive. You become a shell of you, an image of you. You're over here because you did that wrong. And the only thing you need to do is make it right. And in one version or another, you've been comparing the compassion, using it objectively or internally since you got here. And now you're here with me. And I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to show you what you do to yourself, because I ain't fucking doing it, and no one else has ever done that. It's impossible. Yeah. So you must understand that self-pity is the birthing mother of your compassion for others around you, because you relate. You relate to their pain. See, Roxy cries when she sees someone get something. She bawls. You know, maybe a story of a father coming home from the war, surprising their children, you know. And we use that as compassion, but see, there's a moment. And that's what the crying's about. It's not the compassion you're crying, because the tears that you're crying are joy. And see, that's a connection to authentic. It's love returned, just for but a moment. Love returned to the unum, state of being, the unconditional being whole. So that's what gives you an experience that melts your heart. When you start meeting that God, you're going to be embarrassed to know yourself. Especially you, Daphne. You're just right now birthing your little self. You're going to be embarrassed on how awesome you are. I promise you that. Don't fucking discount those words. You're going to think, oh, right now with your ego mind, I'll take anything on because I'm awesome. No, you're not. You're scared. You're deathly afraid to remember that you're a God, not this fucking image of a God that's written in a book. You can contain God in a book with an image, really? Think humanity's fucking on the right path now, don't you? The Hindus got it. Oh yeah, follow the Hindus. Kingdom of heaven lies within, and Daphne's meeting that God. Belle too. Rose already met him. Rose met herself, the whole gestalt, getting used to it, walking that path more and more, seeing it's actually. She still got debate in her mind though, because debate lies in future. The only thing you debate is a belief. That's it. Then you add time and mixture for the probable scenarios of play out. But either path you choose is just going to be the same thing. Jumping out of an airplane with no parachute. And you can splat if you want to, because splatting is an experience. You feel everything compress in a moment. You'll slow it down into an eternity and compress everything down. Feel your bones collapsing. And the blood has a tendency, if you land flat, the blood has a tendency to go left and right. So your head becomes extremely thick and your feet become swelled and your arms, and then you just burst out of your fingertips and toes, and then the top of your head pops off of your eyes. See, that's an experience. And you guys deny yourself that because you need a goddamn parachute. As if you're going to die. Show me. Show me who's dead. I'll show you a body, sure. Let's all play in the body. Ooh. So you're telling me that the body is the only thing there is? See, somewhere you guys know that the eyes, what fills that body, goes on. Or we have compassion for death. No one listen to Yoda. Celebrate the transcendence. No one fucking listens to the Magua. Because it's a movie. Because it's easy to bury people and go there and feel sad. Because you're used to it. Oh, good. This is recording, right, Roxy? Yeah, good. Yeah. Roxy does not want to be buried. If her physical body dies on this plane, okay, not in a coffin, bury her with a fucking tree. She loves that idea, right? Isn't that cool? That's fun. Instead of fucking digging in the ground and putting concrete everywhere and then taking up a whole bunch of space so people can come and pay homage to her, put her in a tree. Let her grow inside a tree. Maybe her face will pop out. Her bigger tits than she's got now, she said. Oh, she's a crazy bitch. Uh, see, when Roxy and Jennifer talked this weekend about compassion, they realized how big it is. They realized that. They realized how much compassion is vibration, and that just stymies the worth because you give it away. You give your passion away through compassion to others, and the others hold on that to see themselves as victimization, and then filling with your love their addiction, their attention, their pity given, their envy given, their admiration given, accepted by them, creates the image and continuation. Scariest part about this is you have to do it your own. You have everyone around you. You have all the love in the class. You have awoken gods here. You guys shoot shit all the time, of course. But the choice is, it's yours. Can't do it with someone else because it's your kingdom. And it's getting returned if you want it. Because it's never been out of reach. You just didn't know how to get there. Because you got distracted. You got distracted with snake oil salesmen trying to sell you an elixir of quick fix. Image. Better. There's none of that. There's you. And you without decoration is naked, vulnerable, open to attack. Open to attack. It rapes experience. That's Jennifer just read that about compassion. It rapes experience. You're still getting an experience, but you're getting experience of a certain relationship to reality, a truth. Compassion is going to do it. We need to feed the hungry, need to save the whales, we need to clean up the plastic, we need to change everything. We keep needing to do that because we're wrong. Our world is wrong, and we need to right it. See, and it's really, it is so much arrogance that the generation, and we're going to talk about the industrial age, this generation thinks they're actually improving the world. What you're doing is creating a world. You're not improving it, and you're not de-proving it. See, that's the mind of mixedness. You're creating a world. That's it. But see, worlds are co-created. Which world do you want to be on? Even if you have a world of someone coming up to you and going, you got to be your truth. I think it was what Brent posted today. Let me find that. You got to do this, Rox. Give me the Facebook, right? Okay. Oh, that's a nice one. Katie. Very nice. I think we're talking about the other one, though, right? The more you would be now, the longer you would live, and the less you would age. And then Eddie Corbin writes back, most people won't believe me when I explain this. Their conditioning runs too deep. Do you see how it was just compassionate for humanity? He claims that their conditioning is too deep. Well, guess what? All of you are lost. Go back 2 years. You don't even remember those selves, do you? You have a few memories, but you don't remember those truths that created your reality. What are you, special? No, you're like everybody else. Lost gods. All equal with the same potential. No one has an advantage because every kingdom is created unto the self. There's no new souls, there's no old souls, there's no experience because everything is now. And whatever validated time you put into your gestalt is an image. You wanted to be masters. Welcome to the show. But again, we can't choose for you. That's your job. All of you are going to find something about you. The more and more you just sit and listen to the classes, because there's an authentic coming through, and you're going to find that urge coming back. You're going to be a little bit less afraid. You're not going to worry about now what physical ailments, because you just know the physical ailments are bullshit. But you need to distract yourself with your own fucking pity and compassion. You go ahead and choose to play it out, but then you start to feel the truth about that. And then maybe one day you'll say, there's no more truth in my physical ailments. If I have a headache, I'm having an experience of having a fucking headache. I don't need to assign it meaning of compassion, of pity, of cause, effect. All I need to do is nothing. Because needs are time. Now is passion. So Nanette flies over to the UK, teaches a class, channels, experiences herself, have a good fucking time. What's the result of that? Not a better person. A God expressed. That's it. Is that enough for you guys? Or do you have to have validity of better? Do you have to have an image about your actions? Or can you be the fucking meek that create realities? The realities of change. You guys are changing every day, but you're consistently the same vibration. 17.2 billion years, and you guys are still fucking it up best as you've ever been. The only difference between that, Atlantean, Pagean 2, Pagean 1, is that there's more of you ready. And there's no reason for it. It's just the now that just occurred that way in probability. You got more light workers ready to go than ever before. And there's a lot of distracted light workers out there. But they all have a truth about them. It might be dim, but it gives an offering. That's how you guys found Abraham. I'm reading what she wrote. Very cool, Rose. Look, guys. You're going to want to know what you are, and I can't tell you. You have to feel it. Feeling creates realities. Roxy's interpreting her dreams through the feeling of it now. She's becoming intimately in love with her truth. Despite the choices she makes and has the ability to regret those choices because she could have had a better, a more abundant money, life, more fame, envy, life. But she chose not those lives. She chose this life. Not to pay homage to you to wake up more gods, because personally, truthfully, she doesn't care. That's what gives her a gift. Because she doesn't care what happens to you, because she knows you're not in peril. She has no compassion for you because she knows you are goddamn gods. And she can't represent one vibration of compassion to keep you distorted as a probability truth to choose. So the light workers out there is enough to move a collective. And all the other attempts, all the other Christ consciousness you had on your planet to get you to wake up to the self-leader, the one that chooses against the salt of humanity's limitations and chooses its own salt. You don't have to have this task, though. You can look at it as a task. The only result is you're going to have a better life because you're more natural. The more natural you become, the life gets better. It has to. It has to get better. Why? Because it's vibration. It doesn't get better as in measurement, good. It gets better in feeling. You start to feel the state of being once again, your unconditional loving self. That is a dynamo that creates galaxies. It's a creator. That feels really good. Not the good as in measured. The good is in whole. That good. So you are your own flock, and you shepherd yourselves. And you can do that because you have. Look at your life, everybody. Your life has not been others. They were coveted, and they were now chosen as truths. Look at your life very closely. Your life has been truth. That's how you get worlds. When you change your truth by following your authentic. Daphne followed her authentic. She knew she was in a relationship that was not her joy. She chose different. To be scared shitless. Do not feel an ounce of compassion or pity for her. Look at her as her own guiding light, as potential. That you guys, if you are on a point of decision, and it doesn't mean a life-changing decision of measurement, it means a truth that is speaking. In other words, Rose, get an RV and start to live. Or go buy a house and start to travel. But what you don't need to do is hesitate. Because none of them are wrong and everything is right. Only according to you. But you don't know that until you live that. And the choice of the now says, this is what I am. And if you start choosing that I am, you're going to know something different. You're going to watch images crumble. Your watch dependencies become really fucking defiant. Why did that do that? Oh, Rebecca. Okay, good. I was like, whoa, Rebecca, what are you doing to me, darling? It's okay, baby. See, those dependencies called mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and boyfriends and girlfriends and bosses, those relationships that have found you somewhat of a dependency, no matter whatever measuring degree they hold you in accountability for, is going to be offended because you're no longer the same stride. You're becoming out of frequency with their tone. And they don't like that because it shows them something about themselves. You know what it shows them? It shows them the prison they're keeping. The valiant watch for their own fucking prison. And that's what you're offering them. And a lot of them don't like it because they're not ready to wake up. Is that your fucking excuse? As if you know another's kingdom. Give it to him, baby. Give it to him. Because it sends a shockwave through the ideas of the barnacles that have encrusted their fucking light. And it shatters away down to the authentic, and they don't like it because they become just like you are. Scared of this. They feel it. Their worth. Their chosen existence. Lean on me is in the radio. I'll be there. Lean on me. Use it if you want to. Understand your relationship. Here, let me give you an idea of compassion. Because sometimes it might get rough and you need someone to lean on. But the truth is, you created the lean. Let's find that as a new truth today. Look what you do. See, Daphne, what's in your reality around you? You may think is owned because there's a piece of paper. There's law that reinforce that and the validity of numbers. But see, this is your world. Every time you look around, you can take ownership of it if you want to, but I would like to go beyond that. It's creation that you have access to, which if you have a sharp mind, you've always had access to creation. Look around, you're having an experience. Every fucking now, you are using creation to reflect back to you an experience. Your awareness, right? So you don't need to own anything. Because right now, is it cold outside or is it warm outside? What's the weather like? Come on.
It's absolutely perfect, the weather.
Well, wonderful. So you have perfect weather in your reality. Did you create that?
Yeah,
And you have a house to enjoy the perfect weather in or outside of, yeah?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You create that. So let's talk about your money. Got any more money coming from here? We're going to play the idea of logic, everyone, so we can all understand the vibration. So did you get a final check from your last job?
No, that'll come in September somewhere, I think.
Mm-hmm. And it's July?
Yeah, so I'll have one paycheck in July, one in August, and then the final one of like the holiday days that I haven't booked.
And
They
that's
would,
from your old job?
yes, I think so.
And from your new job, are you going to have money?
Yeah, in October, I think.
Okay. Think you can make it through?
Yeah, I think so.
I know so. But if you think, that's time. If you know, because right now, if I put into your bank account $1 million, you would feel so good. But see, right now, you wouldn't spend it. You would stay in class until class was over. You wouldn't go out and spend $1 million, but you would have it so you felt better because you have an object of a dependency outside of you that gives you your worth because you're measuring.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you, if you forget about your money, money's going to come in every time you need it. I'm wondering if you can let that happen for you so you can see that abundance is going to flow through you. Or are you relying on your logical mind to give you stability in time? The paychecks that are going to come. You think your mom's going to kick you out?
No.
Okay. So can you accept that you use creation to create that of what you need in the now? Create the versions of your parents, create the versions of everything around you to give you that reality of experience that is always immeasurable?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So start to allow that to be something different for you. Not the dependencies of time, not the truths of ownership that humanity validates. Something different today for yourself, okay?
Okay.
That you got this, and you can settle on that. And it's not very stable, and it doesn't have attributes of truth that are objectable. And in other words, you can tie your fucking reins to it, hook onto it. Because now you're just sitting in isness. And that's very an unfamiliar place. That's a God that doesn't brag, it doesn't boast. That's a God that doesn't do anything from history or the future to justify its own goddamn validity in the eyes of others' acceptance. How fucking diarrhea bullshit is that? That's this stillness that you're finding. Last thing I want to talk about. Thank you, Daphne.
Thank you.
Is choices of action. Let's understand that passion doesn't see itself in measurement. So if you need to yell and scream and become an obtuse fucking God in the moment, but if your reality relationship with that is absolutely immeasurable, then why the hell would you ever hesitate? Because the mind will throw dampeners on there. It'll throw cause and effect. It'll throw image out there. It'll throw everything. They had an appointment this morning, Roxy and Tom, with the cable guy because their box was going up and down and they were losing some of the internet power. And Roxy loves the classes. She wants to have a nice, stable class. So they call in and they set an appointment to come out and check the equipment because there was an issue. But the tech called this morning. The tech called and said, "Can you? Are you still having the problems? Because your community was out yesterday and they came and fixed the problem, so you might not be having problems anymore." And Roxy knew it. Got a lazy fucking tech. Doesn't want to make the call. Doesn't want to come out and check the equipment. Wants the shortcut. And Roxy goes, I have a class today. And the class is something of a value for me. It's something of a truth for me. She goes, the class is money. You understand money, don't you? It's really not money. And the truth in that moment, she wanted to hammer this guy. So in other words, I have to call you again if my internet goes down. Because if I lose this, I'm losing money. You don't want to lose money, do you? I mean, it's what the world makes go round and round. And she's starting to rip into this guy. And of course, Roxy cusses. So he gets all offended. Don't cuss at me. Don't cuss at me. You fucking pussy. Can't handle a little controversy because he's hiding behind an image. The image of I'm doing my job. No, you're not. Roxy smelled that fucking fear and went after it. And stood him a post and said, you know what? We ran a test and the internet speed's fine. But if it drops over the next few days, I'll do your job for you and I'll call you back. And you're going to come out here without me calling in and creating another ticket, right? Because you have integrity, right? You have kids, right? You have integrity, right? And you can hear the hesitation in his voice. He started to crack because Roxy pierced that fucking image because she wasn't afraid to be a dick. because some guy didn't want to drive out here and check equipment that might not be, because he's not passionate about his work. He's making a living and not earning it. That's all he's doing. He's plastique. He's an image. And Roxy doesn't hold back when someone confronts her reality with image. So let's look at that moment as a passion. Roxy was judged by many in this idea interaction because they see a worth coming out through measured ideas, because each person that judges, listen now, can accept their own truth. That's why you guys judge. It's because someone's being a truth and it doesn't sit with you. Because if it was a truth for you and you saw that they were being their truth, you would have no judgments. Because you accept all reality is. That's your natural state of being. You guys get it? That's what diversity is. That's how forever is created. Because everyone's speaking their truth. Unless you're offended, you have no qualms with it. You can give a flying fuck. But if someone's offended at you, then you've done them a service. But you're not here to serve. Save yourself. That's who you're here to service. Your goddamn kingdom. So don't be afraid to be your passion, because passion is immeasurable. Humanity has scaled eyes. Left and right, good and bad, right and wrong, up and down, good, better, best, worse, atrocity, suffering. But once you stop relating to humanity from a human standpoint, you become a different species, you become a different human. And that occurrence is whenever you stop playing the trump card of pity and compassion, and you start playing the authentic. And that self will beam lights, and you can't hold it back. And when you do, you'll feel it. Maybe you'll even be disappointed in yourself. But I would say laugh and rejoice, because now you're aware of another shedding, another chipping away at the gestalt that you put around you, the gestalt of an image that creates a reality of lack, truthful lack. And then when you recognize it, you deplete it, you accept it. The next time, whenever that comes, you be a little bit more truthful each and every time. You stand up to mom and dad, you don't conform to the ideas of pity and compassion. Well, you would want to do that for your sister, wouldn't you? No, I wouldn't. And they may look at you as obtuse, cold-hearted, bitch. No compassion for humanity. No remorse. No! No, I don't have that. Because I am. And I am never wavers. That's why your life has been. Because you've been compassionate, trusting objects, conforming yourself to the societal woes through compassion. I can tell you it's hard to be image when you start to become more of yourself, because you find it almost distasteful to dumb yourself down into the ideology of humanity. It becomes almost grotesque. You know, like some of you that got hammered, and then the next day you smell the vodka and you want to puke again. You're like, fuck. But it's easy to go back to the vodka after you've coalesced the day. It's easy to go back to compassion. But the more and more truth you be in the now, you're going to feel that isness return, you know? That gestalt, that king, or queen, whatever you want to label yourself. That vibration. That's what you become more accustomed to, and you just can't be a lie to yourself. Because all of your truths are truth. There's never been a lie. Michael Kim had a problem with that. Michael had a lot of problems. He's validating his problems. But Michael Kim validated how, if you absolutely tell a lie, how can that be a truth? Because it was your truth to tell a lie. It's a lie only to you. Yeah, but this happened and I lied about it. No, it didn't. That happened. That now is happening. That's the truth. And when there's a point you can't not speak your truth in conscious awareness reflection. In other words, you guys have choice, right? You've already chosen, but you have in time to choose. There'll come a time where I say, I can't do this to myself anymore. That was Daphne. She couldn't lie to herself. In other words, choose the truth of her lesser self, her image self, the objective self, because this self is too alive. And she's starting to feel good about herself because this self doesn't worry about the bills. This self doesn't worry about tomorrow, or am I going to please my man, or am I going to take care of him, or am I going to get what I want? Am I going to be able to have a baby? See, that self is distracted, trying to fix everything through its own hopes and dreams and reverence for effort. But this meek God that's birthing, oh, see, that God doesn't worry about tomorrow or how the next money's going to come in to pay the next bill and where's it going to sleep and is going to get a warm meal. Because see, vibration creates realities. Hope doesn't. Vibration. Lack creates truth. Lack creates truth of worth creates. Humanity has painted a picture of the universe and is selling it to you. Aliens are bad and they got better weapons and they're going to be occupied. There's a new movie coming out about aliens landing on Earth and starting to occupy, and of course there's heroes that are going to kill the aliens. Humanity paints pictures off of their own truths, and they create image for people to buy into that lie in time, and they keep you in the idea of distracted. There's not one species outside of your reality that is anything except neutral, and your vibration creates the co-creation. Yeah, because see, consciousness is usable. You use it as a truth, you change its form and create images and create versions and vibration of those images. How much you guys don't realize you're actual creators is astounding. But it is also exhilarating for us to see your light at such a reverence and consistent pace, not the flickerings of the old worlds. The second Egypt, ruled by Roku, the flickering of that almost looked like it was steady, but faltered to compassion. The Christ conscience, the current, dumbed down by the attributes of an egoic man, Constantine, changed your calendar, changed your authority, filled you with fears and stories. The Pageans split It happened twice on parallel Earths that created different continents of separation to bring the tribes together. It was so beautiful to see the lights, only to be dumbed down by separation. But not today. Today there's a constant. Don't feel pride for you. Don't be embarrassed because it's you. Accept that you are that light, the consistent, not the flickering to judge and to pass judgment upon others' actions through a standard rule of a belief system that stands the test of time. Today you are different, and now you are different, and forever you are different. That's all I've got. This is a cute dress, Roxy. Right? Because it's hers, that she creates for herself. How wonderful is that? Anyone got anything before we get out of here? Okay. So, welcome, Sonia, to the class. Good to see you, Rebecca. Where are you from in the UK? Tell the class.
You mean me?
Hmm?
Well, I live in London.
Oh, okay. Well, you got Charmaine there that lives in the UK, and you also have Scott there that lives in the UK.
Well, kind of relocating to Sweden.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I quit
You
my
speak it?
job the other day, and yeah, I decided to move out and all that. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Good.
In Sweden from now on.
Well, I love that. You speak the language?
Yeah.
Swedish?
Yes, something like that.
Good. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to bring Miss Roxy back. And as for a name, Brent, this is not an image any longer. It's just a truth. So whatever you want to label this class, you can do so. But Roxy has a truth behind it, too. She's starting to feel something about her. That even the Roxanne hole that she was channeling was still filtered. Because you can't be contained to a label. Soon you will discover that. Bid you all a good day. I'll bring Foxy back.